Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're getting ready to start our information session. It won't be for very long. I'm trying to keep you here for 15 to 20 minutes so you could get back to your lunch break. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. We have about 2 minutes on top of the hour just to make space for everyone who are coming. Although this will be recorded as well. And then we have a repeat of this session on Tuesday at noon again. Sure, get your questions ready. So at the end of this session, I hope you will learn something. You'll be motivated a little bit more. I know as leaders, it's a little bit difficult, right? We have to deal with people, different type of people, and even ourselves. Do you know that sometimes we're complicated as well? So we're going to have a wonderful session today. Just another minute and then we'll get started. Thank you again for joining if you're just coming in the room. I was always told that if you're just turning up at the exact time, you're already late. And boy, that's something I'm struggling with. So I don't know how many of us have that struggle, but welcome. It is such a pleasure to see you today. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for following my work. And just thank you for engaging with the material that I share on this platform. So, a lot of you have asked about this leadership mastermind that I'm talking about. And some persons are not sure about what is a mastermind, even, right? What is this thing? What is this mastermind? So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about today. What is a mastermind? While we're preparing for this conversation, feel free to put your questions in the chat, in the comments. I'm new to this platform. So if I miss them, I will DM you them afterwards, right? But I'm trying to manage the screen. So put your questions in the chat. So as I mentioned, what is a mastermind? A mastermind is not a book study. It's not a book study. So it's not a case where we're coming in every week, we're reading a chapter, and we are sitting around to discuss that chapter. That's not what a mastermind is. And that's not what this mastermind is going to be. A mastermind is a growth opportunity where we'll take a framework like what we're going to be doing in this book, from this book by Ryan Leaps. I don't know if you could see it, How to Work with Complicated People. Sorry, you're not seeing it. So we're going to take a framework from that book and then we're going to apply them directly to a real situation. So, a real situation that is happening in your work environment, we will dissect that. We will help you develop strategies around how to deal with that. So, it's like group based coaching, not individual coaching. Individual coaching will be you and me alone. But this is like a group base. So, I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. So, this is a peer learning environment as we bring the situations that we're seeing. So that is really what a mastermind is. The book study is more passive, right? You read, you discuss. But the mastermind, you will leave with strategies that you can apply immediately. Immediately. I wish I had this earlier in my career, right? When I was having all these staff that I'm working with. So, what this would be, so beginning May 5th, every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., early in the morning, I don't want to disrupt your workday, for 60 to 90 minutes, depending on how the conversation is going, about 60 to 90 minutes, we will engage in this discussion. We will talk through a scenario. You can bring your scenario every week. We will go around the room and give you that opportunity if you want to. Don't call any names, right? We're going to do it in the privacy, however, of a Zoom room. So it won't be free out open on LinkedIn, but it'll be in the privacy of your Zoom room, and we'll be able to have this discussion. So think about it. Have you met any complicated persons that you have to work with? Who is that person? Don't call their names. You can put it in the chat, but don't mention any names. Or just think about that person in your mind. Who is that complicated person that you have to interface with at work? Bring that person to our mastermind on May 5th. And we're not going to be discussing the person per se, but the situation. So we could develop a strategy around how to address that situation. Right? So this is going to be an 8 weeks process. And we are masterminding around the book, How to Work with Complicated People. Hi, welcome, Audrey. How to Work with Complicated People. And this is by Ryan Leakes. If you ever met this man, he is such a keynote speaker. He has a wealth of experience. And I know of him through my experience with the John Maxwell Group. So if you're thinking, oh, does Sophia have permission to use this guy's book in this mastermind? Yes. As part of the John Maxwell team, this is one of the resources that I have permission and is licensed to train and coach on. Okay. So it is legit. It is legit. So in this 8 weeks, right, you will be going through these concepts that you will be able to apply in your work environment. Ready to get a taste of it? Put your questions in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. Let me see. Hi, welcome, Audrey. Welcome. Put any questions you have in the chat. So let me train on one of these concepts. It's going to be quick. Let me give you an example. So I recommend that you purchase the book, and I'll put the link for you later. So I recommend that you purchase the book. But we're not going to come here every week and read the book. No, that's not what we're going to do. There will be a participant guide that if you sign up with me, you'll get that guide, and we'll be utilizing that as a guide. Not in the guide won't have your scenarios, right? But we'll utilize that as a guide in our discussion. Okay? And then let's talk about the scenario. Let me give you a taste of it. One of the most powerful concepts in dealing with complicated people is this: complicated people are not complicated by accident. Do you think that? Complicated people are not complicated by accident. They are behaving in a way that works for them. Think about that. Sometimes you're in a meeting and some folks are just talking, they disregard your agenda, they just talk and take over the meeting. In my eyes, that's a complicated person. But do you think they're behaving like that by accident? No. No, it's not by accident. That person have learned a behavior that helped them to get what they want. Have you ever think about that? I remember when I'm running meetings, I'm normally like, this is my agenda. And if you have anything to say out of my agenda, we're gonna put it in the parking lot. Right? Because they will come in, some folks, a personality, right? They will take, and then there are some folks that will never talk at all in the meetings. But we need the voice of everyone, right? Think about this. Sometimes I am the complicated person. Don't ask my children. They might tell you, Mom is so complicated. So we interface with complicated people every day in our work, in our home, in our social environment. So the tidbits, the knowledge that you learn in this 8 weeks is not only applicable to a work situation. These are skills that you're learning that will help you in all aspects of your life. All aspects of your life. Once you understand how to deal with complicated person, you will stop trying to change them. Don't we get caught up in that all the time? This person, we perceive them as complicated and we want to change them to be the person I want them to be. But let's try to understand their motive. Is it that they're just seeking attention? Is it that they just want to control? Is it that they just need power? Or is their way to deflect, to avoid? Once we understand that, then we will have strategies in our toolbox to deal with that. So, this is what we will unpack in the mastermind. Does this sound complicated? Not really, but it's something that we will learn and it's together. This is pair by pair. This is us as a pair working together through these scenarios. And that's the depth of the whole masterminding framework. Okay? And let me pause 1 minute to say this. Some of you may be thinking that, wait, so we're coming here for 8 weeks to just bash people, talk about how bad these people is, how difficult these person. No, we're not here to do that. That's not the structure. What are we here to do? We're here to develop strategies. It's not a venting session, guys. We're here to strategize. We're going to bring the situation that we identify that is driving us crazy in our situation. And then we'll plan a response that you can execute that same day when you go back. That is why we're starting at 7 a.m. Because then we start at 7 a.m. We will last about 60 to 90 minutes. I don't want to get interrupt your work day. I know we're busy. I know we have a number of healthcare folks here, and I know you're busy. So we are gonna come get something to go back out in the job and try. Okay? So every session, you will leave with something concrete that you can apply immediately to your leadership. Do you want that? Do you want that? So please put your questions in the chat. I promise I won't be staying long today. I want to make sure that I'm mindful that it's the middle of the workday, but I just wanted to share what this mastermind is about and inviting you to sign up. So put your questions in the chat so that I could address them. Or you could private message me and I'll definitely address them for you. So here are some questions that tend to come up around masterminds, right? First one is, oh, it's just a book club. I hope after my presentation that I've done, you now know it's not a book club. The book is the foundation, right? We're focusing on this book. The book is our foundation, right? The book is a foundation, but it's not a book club. It's a framework. And then think about it. We have our own pairs. So that cohort that we're in, we learn to like and trust each other, and we are thought leaders together. Think about it. You might be listening, maybe you're in this live with me today, or you may be listening to it afterwards, and you may say, you know what, Sophia, I'm not in healthcare, so I don't think this will work for me. No, complicated people are everywhere. It doesn't have to be in healthcare. Bring the situation, and it will be relevant, and we will strategize around a response. So it's not necessarily healthcare specific. But as you guys know, I'm a nurse, and a lot of my followers are healthcare folks. So this group may have a number of healthcare folks. And we're fun to be around. So even if you're not in healthcare, come in, share your perspective, because that's how thought leadership develop. All industries, we have people. In our homes, we have people. In our churches, in our different clubs that we're a member of, with a professional organization. So come in here and we will help with understanding and dealing with those, develop those skills that is needed to fine tune how to work with complicated people. What if I miss a session? So I sign up. This is an 8 weeks program. It's going to go from May 5th to June 30th, every Tuesday morning. What happens if I miss a session? I'll record those for you and then I will send them to you afterwards. Okay. Is this coaching? Is it therapy? It's not therapy, but you might find some of the strategy therapeutic, because then you won't be staying awake at nights anymore just to figure out how to deal with these people that is driving you crazy. So, although I'm not a therapist, the strategies that we develop may prove to be quite therapeutic. And is it coaching? As I say, this is more peer based. Coaching in its form is more one on one, right? And you are doing a lot of that in the work. This is a little bit different. There are some similarities, but it's a little bit different. Okay. I don't see any questions yet. So I'll continue to speak about some of the things that people tend to share. So another thing that people may say, you know what, the price. Let me just say, what is the price, Sophia? So the price is $497. It's 8 weeks. It's 1.5 hours. You're getting these skills that will help you in life. You're going to have to purchase the book for yourself if you need the book. However, you will get a participant guide once you sign up. And if you are attending this session right now, let me just make sure I take a look at all the persons that are in the session right now, because there's a special bonus just for you, just for joining this session. Mm, okay. Yes, I offer one on one coaching. So if you're somebody who, you know what, I like the idea of, yes, I have a couple complicated persons in my group, in my team, and I really want to know how to work with them. But this mastermind thing with many people, I'm not very comfortable with it. I prefer my one on one coaching session. I do that as well. You can contact me, DM me, and I could provide those for you. And once you experience this, you're going to want your entire team to experience it. So I go into organizations as well, and we create mastermind group just in your organization with your team. So just imagine you have a team of 10, 15, 20 folks. And as a team, you are experiencing certain issues within the team, certain specific scenarios. As a matter of fact, I have a contract right now that what we're doing. Certain specific scenarios. We can bring your scenarios and we mastermind around a solution for those scenarios. So you can bring me in your organization. The rate's a little bit different for organizations, but you can bring me in the organizations as well, and we will help you to solve these problems as a team. So you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. Any questions that are coming up yet? I am still looking for questions. I don't really see any, but let me know if questions come up. Okay. What happened if I say, you know what? I don't have many complicated people on my team right now, so I may not need this. Do you want to wait until you're having all these challenges in your workday before you develop the skills to deal with them? No, you are in the right place because this is where you develop the skills so we can be proactive in addressing those issues as they come up. Okay? What happened if, you know what, I have already read this book, I don't need to mastermind around it. You read this book by yourself. Think about having that thought leadership. Think about that specific scenario that you're going to bring, that we're going to dissect and develop strategy around. You're going to see the book much differently. It won't be the same when we mastermind around it. Just a few more minutes. Um, oh, I can just read it by myself. I don't need you. Reading it by yourself, you'll get some value. But to potentiate that value, to get the most of it, I recommend that you mastermind with me. Okay, there's a question. Okay, 7 a.m. is early, Sophia. 7 a.m. is early. Do you have any other times? DM me. I'm thinking about opening more sessions, but I want to make sure that I have enough persons to fill those slots before I open more sessions. So if this day and this time doesn't work for you, still DM me if you have an interest, and it may be another session that we will plan for. Okay? So feel free to DM me around that, and we'll be able to work something out. Okay. What is coming up for you? Anybody else have any other questions that's coming up for you? Yes, it will be on Zoom. It will be on Zoom. So once you sign up, once you express interest, you DM me, you express interest, you'll get a link, and that link will tell you more about the program. Will tell you, will give you some testimonials, some folks who have gone through a similar mastermind. I've done similar mastermind before. This is the first I'm doing it on this book. Actually, Ryan just did this book last summer, and so this is the first I'm going to mastermind around this one. But I've done other mastermind on John Maxwell book. A matter of fact, there are a couple more coming up in this year as well, of different books. But I really like the things around communication, because being in healthcare, we know we're team sports. We have to deal with a lot of folks. So I spend a lot of my time around helping with communication issues. However, you know, if you have an interest, you have a specific problem in your team, that's when you can consult with me, and we can develop the perfect combination package for you. Okay? So this is what I have for the presentation. But let me ask you something. Why would you not say yes today? Put in the chat. What is the reason you wouldn't say yes today? Tell me what are those things, so I can customize this to better meet your needs. Okay? So the final thing I'm going to talk about before we leave, so you could go back to your lunch or your midday activities, is okay, what happened? So I sign up, then what? So you will express an interest. Sophia, I have an interest in this. Then I'll send you a link. And in that link, a couple of things I'm going to need from you. I'm going to need your email address and contact number for you. Because remember, I have to send you that participant guide, that worksheet, right? So you could work through. So I need a way to contact you to get that to you. And then I'm going to send the link to the book. There's also like a free resource. The book is on Amazon. There's no secret there. It's on Amazon. And you can go in there. There's a free sample for the order books for it. And there's a free reader. I think there's like a chapter that is there. And the physical book is beautiful. I looked through this book, and the book has a white cover, and inside it, the pages, some pages have different colors. It's well designed. It's well designed. So I had to buy the book myself, and I really enjoy just holding it. But you remember, if you don't need to buy the book when you do the mastermind, and we're really fixing issues based on the concepts in the book, so you can do it. What happened if you're saying, you know what, I got to drop the kids to work? and I will be driving in at that time. Sophia, that time doesn't work for me. You're not required to be on camera. So you could still join, listen, and having a conversation. A matter of fact, when I'm driving, I said most times I do a lot of audiobooks because I don't want to see the traffic before me. But if you know you don't want to do that because you want to make sure you're safe as well, as I say, DM me because I'm thinking I may have like a 12 o'clock one. I might just keep it for an hour, but based on the interest, okay. So you sign up, you get the link, then you will get a welcome confirmation that you sign up. I'm going to recommend that you purchase the book on Amazon. That will come to you maybe within 3 days, most times. Then you'll get a Zoom link. You'll get a Zoom link to the meetings, and you show up. And in that, you get your participant guide. Okay? So remember, you may not be able to do this right now, but you may know somebody who need that. Feel free to share it with them. It's going to be an intimate group, just 10 people. I don't want to have more than 15. If we get more than that, I will open another session so that we can service everyone. And ultimately, at the end of it, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I want you to be able to go to your bed at night without dreading that person who keep on disrupting you. I want you to develop those skills that is needed to actually address people issues, whether at work, at home, or at play. I want you to be the best leader that you can be. I know as clinicians, many of us, we were taught how to care for these patients, do this, do that, developing those skills. But who helped us to develop communication skills? Did we really get any detailed development work around that? This is what this will do for you. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you again and have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. So remember, I'll be back here on Tuesday. It's a similar presentation. The basic construct is the same things I want to talk about, maybe different scenarios. Knowing Sophia, I might find different scenarios for you and then sign you up. So, with that being said, did you see my live yesterday? Go in and check it out. That was a good teaching moment. I hope you got some good tips on communication from it. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for joining.